Should we? You know what? I'm going to say, hey, this is what we deal with every week with Phil, and then I'm going to have all this, all that we've been sitting through right now,
Cool.
so people can see. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless podcast. This will be for Wednesday, December 16th. As always, I'm your host, Big Irish J. Hollingsworth, and we have the usual suspects, aka the crew, aka the Hooligoons, Sean's favorite term. We have the Mechanable, Sean McCann.
I feel like we've been here for an hour already.
We have, we have the Coco co-host, Manulus Rojas Martin, and Phil.
Yeah,
Phil
Podcast,
Fox.
baby. Wild Phil Hickok. Oh, I messed that up. I just said the real name. Oh God. Hi.
So if you're watching this video on YouTube, stay through to the end. At the end, we're going to show you what it's like trying to set up this podcast.
Oh God.
Yeah, you're still too far from your mic, Phil. You got to be closer when you talk.
I don't. Oh, you know what might happen?
It's backwards. I'll fucking drive there right now,
Jesus
dude.
Christ. Oh,
no, it's all set up right. It's all set up right. I'm ready to go, baby. I've been ready.
All right. We got a bunch of shit in here. Okay, so Biden is officially the president-elect. We started doing this yesterday, but I was having technical issues. And we were talking about this, and we were saying that there's nothing left. Like Trump has no other way to try and weasel it.
Sounds like he does. Yeah, go, man. Because now I looked into it last night too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So apparently there is, I believe, what was it, January 5th or 6th, when everybody meets to go over the total amount of electoral votes, that somebody from both the House and the Senate can oppose that and be like, hey, you know, there was this fraudulent stuff. And then apparently if that goes through, Pence can be like, okay, so now we need to debate this. So the House and the Senate go away for 2 hours, and they have to kind of go over all the shit and say why, you know, it's this or that, you know, or why the fraudulent stuff doesn't count, which is a little confusing to me. But what I did hear is that if the House and the Senate don't agree on it, then they go back to the original 270 count to see what happened. I don't know if you heard anything different, Sean.
I heard the same thing, plus that by putting those electors in their Republican, so like alternative electors,
right,
that the Republicans are sending, it now creates I just had the word in my head. It creates legal standing. So because so it's this idea,
Jesus Christ,
to a high level, because I don't get all the ins and outs,
Yeah.
but like a high level is that the Republicans and it's Trump's people. There's this one guy who's leading this charge, but they're sending these electors in, and since they're doing that, they create legal standings. So like the electors for Georgia and Florida and Pennsylvania, they send in representatives for that on their side. And by creating legal standing, it means now it's in the courts to decide. So it instantly like rises it up a level. And now courts have to decide each of those things, which keeps the presidency in limbo. But I think, though, January 20th, no matter what, Biden goes, if nothing has been handled yet, Biden just goes in, which, I mean, we can just say Biden will be president.
Right.
But the court cases will continue.
So actually, the one thing that I think may happen if they don't decide on it, it's actually Nancy Pelosi who then becomes president because she's Speaker of the House. So if she's actually next in line to become president. So it wouldn't be Trump, wouldn't be Joe Biden. The Speaker of the House is the president in that scenario.
But wouldn't it, since the electors certified it though yesterday, doesn't that mean that now it has been decided through certification that he is president-elect?
Right.
And so he will be president, and that if there was things that were happening outside that Trump was causing, that would just be within the courts. But president would be Biden, I think. I don't think it would go to Pelosi at that point.
I think you're right in that as far as that goes, because from what I read, and don't quote me on this, but if the House and the Senate don't both agree to whatever that objection to the results were, they have to go back to the electoral college and just go off of what has already been certified. So it's crazy. It's just, this is what happens when you give a madman the keys to democracy. It'll always, now there's going to be this reasonable doubt per se on the other side where it's like, oh yeah, I don't believe that, this was real. But just to, I guess, frame it, even when Trump won, I was like, there's no way this motherfucker could have won, this election. They had to like rig it, but this one, I mean, shit, Joe Biden won it handedly, so it's like, for anybody to think that the shit was rigged, think about this for a minute. If Democrats were that smart to rig an election, wouldn't they have gotten the Senate too, instead of fucking themselves over and not having every single branch of,
how does the people not in power rig it?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, his own people, Trump's own people have come out and say this was one of the safest, most secure elections. So if your own people from the inside are saying it, it's just, they hang on every word that Trump says, his followers, and it's dangerous, man. It's a threat to democracy. So we'll see, what happens from here.
Hey, I'm going to say something that's probably unpopular.
Yeah.
Look, man, it's not just Trump's fault that things are like this.
I agree. He's the symptom of a problem, but
he
was
is
a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger. And dude, if you really look at cause and effect, you can't argue this. I don't think is that. I'm not going to get into who starts what, because that just starts to get into no, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. It's more like this though, or you started it. There are faults, right. But it's more like this, man. The media has been so hypercritical of him to a point where he will react to it. And it's just one-upsmanship left and right. Because now if we could pause, take a break, look from a 30,000-foot view and be like, okay, how was it maybe, 20 years ago or 10 years ago? And how is it now when it comes to journalism? And dude, you have people what's that dude on Fox? Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity.
I was going next though. Don Lemon.
Dude, yeah.
Dude, I can't watch Don Lemon.
I can't.
Just like I can't watch Hannity. It's absolute nonsense. And what sucks is that Cuomo guy. I like his style, I like his personality. I like his rhythm and shit. What I can't stand now is how he talks. I can't stand it, man. And not for, I mean, I don't know Walter Cronkite. That's a little just a touch before me. But dude, I'll use Dan Rather or something. These were people that had conviction and weren't so, I mean, Dan Rather became very biased, but when they were doing the news, man, it was 3 networks and people wanted the news and that's what they got.
Yeah.
And man, so media, I know that's a thing everybody says, but media has a huge part of this.
Yeah.
Too hypercritical.
Well, I mean, think about it, dude. Trump, he came up along with all of the reality television, right?
Yeah.
We became huge fans of reality television, and he was a reality television star, and he's realized that all he has to do is give us entertainment. He's just got to entertain us to distract us from whatever the really is going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he utilizes the media and journalism as a source of a way to distract us all from his real agenda. I mean, he's great at propaganda. It's a propaganda machine for him.
Yeah. The one thing is, I think he told Billy Bush one time, he was like,
grab her by the pussy.
Besides that, he said, he was like, you lie enough and people will believe it. And people will believe. And the crazier thing is about him is I don't think that in his mind, he probably thinks he's the coolest guy in the room. Imagine going from being the guy on your own TV show to fire people. So you carry this huge power and people watch you every week. And you probably, you see yourself as the smartest guy in the room, so that when, you become the president, you still believe that to a certain extent, that you're still the smartest guy in the room, even if you're not. And so it's like when there's scientists telling you no, when there's other people telling you, how it is, you're like, fuck them. I'm smarter than all of them.
Dude, it's funny what you say, Sean, because I was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago, I was in the car and I was listening to CNN and Don Lemon, and I was going to do a daily video about, I don't know what news to listen to, because all I want is, I just want somebody to relay the information. I don't want opinion pieces with my news. I'll watch the fucking View if I want to. I want that shit.
Yeah.
But dude, it's like I can't. Don Lemon is like always like he comes off. He's lecturing and he's it's just like
Yeah.
he's like a tattletale or something as he's relaying the news. It's just annoying. And
He
then
has nothing
Fox
to
is,
say.
the other side of it is Fox, and it's like I just want somebody to be like, look, here's the news. These are the numbers. You form whatever opinion you want from it, but these are actual facts. These are just the facts, and that's it.
I've been the guy that I've watched for the last 4 years, and I know that MSNBC
Rush Limbaugh?
I know MSNBC is left leaning, but Brian Williams, I feel like he's the closest thing to like a Walter Cronkite. I mean, he really just gives you the story. He doesn't, I'm sure it's a little bit left leaning, but he's chill, man. He's just like, and I want to thank my guests for being here. And what's your opinion on this? And
He's a liar.
There it is. Go ahead, man.
I mean,
Get it
yeah,
out.
I know you got the helicopter thing when he exaggerated
Who
about
cares?
that, but
Who
that's
cares?
Also,
I like Lester Holt, baby. Lester Holt delivers
Oh,
the
yeah.
news, baby.
Dude, have you ever seen Lester Holt's like head from the side? Like his shit is balding. Like it's oh man.
I've seen it from the front, dude.
Well, I
It's
can't
weird
listen to him then.
always.
Oh man. If you want like just straight up like journalism, Rachel Maddow, she will but that's the thing is she takes you on a fucking journey just to get to whatever you want to learn. So
Yeah, I can't. Rachel Maddow is not on my fucking radar, dude. Hey, but I do want to, dude. Shout out Shepard Smith, though. Come on, man. That
Shep
dude
Smith.
is, and he's
Oh,
over
yeah,
on MSNBC now. I think
He
doing
is.
the 3-hour afternoon or midday or something. But dude, I've always liked him.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right,
he's-
great.
Larry
He's-
King, baby. Larry King. He's the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I use him for marriage advice.
Nice.
Vaccine. He's been married like 6 times, Sean.
Got it.
Sean's
Thank
like, what the fuck? Vaccines are going out. I think we said on another episode, we asked, would we all get it? Sean, immediately you were like 100%. Yeah,
I'm
sign
in.
me up.
I'm in.
Manny, what did you say? Were you like,
I said that under the Trump administration, I wasn't so certain because it felt like it was too political. But now that there's no real reason for anybody for it to be politicized, I'm all for it. I mean, especially since the nurses are taking it and other presidents are saying that they're going to take it. The only thing that I've heard is the adverse effect if you're allergic to peanuts and shit. So for instance, Kelsey Cook is super allergic. So I think she would have to be careful about it. But
Bell's palsy too.
yeah, that's it.
That was the other one.
They said 4 out of like 30,000 got Bell's palsy. 2 of them have already recovered.
okay.
I
But
don't like those odds.
Yeah. That's the one where you're where you freeze up, right? And you're kind of like,
half your face.
Shit just
Right.
goes.
It looks
limp.
like a stroke.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It mimics a stroke, but it's not exactly.
But
Gotcha.
dude, that one dude had it. What's the guy, Jim or something from wrestling? The
Oh, Jim
announcer?
Corey. Yeah. Jim
Yeah.
Ross.
Jim Ross. Yeah,
I thought he had a
that.
stroke. He had Bell's palsy.
That was Bell's palsy
Oh,
over forever time. Like
Yeah,
his didn't go
Jesus.
away.
So did
Yeah.
the Mountain. The dude that played the Mountain in Game of Thrones had it for a while.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
shit.
I watched a documentary and he lost this one year, but he's like he has that. Phil, are you going to do the vaccine?
I heard a public service announcement from wasn't the Trump administration, but I don't know what organization it was, but they actually put me at ease a little bit. They described exactly what a vaccine is, and I know what a vaccine is, but to kind of hear it broken down over the radio just kind of reassured me a little bit. So yeah, I think I would. It talked about antibodies and how it releases just little pieces of the virus basically to get your body prepared to fight it if it was to come on. And so
That's not how it works at all.
It is too.
There's absolutely none of that goes in your body. They don't put any coronavirus in your body at all.
It's like
2
a
rounds
it's like
and
a mimic. It's like a mimic to the virus. So your body
Okay.
knows what it is to
Here we
fight it
go.
off, and
Here
you're
we
more
go.
immune to it.
PC Manny, we need to put out some sort of a what do you call
Disclaimer.
those? A release? Yeah, disclaimer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not fake news, bitch.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
just shout out to, I just want to let everybody know that we aren't medical experts here on the HollingsWorthless podcast. and that a lot of the news that we hear, is actually hearsay. We haven't read in-depth journals. We haven't actually written medical papers. So make sure that you consult your doctor before actually taking the vaccine. Back to you, Sean.
Hashtag facts. Hashtag facts, baby.
Oh,
Yep.
Jesus.
Anyway,
Dude, Manny is the fucking. It amazes me how quick Manny is with those. And
Oh my God.
I think there's only been one time on the recent Love in Black and White where he kind of fucking. You're like, oh God, is he gonna dig out of this one? But yeah, it's what was it? Dr. Fauci was saying that he wants it known that a black doctor worked on the vaccine because so many minorities are not trusting, which I get. I mean, you had the Tuskegee Project,
Yeah.
and so that's one thing I was wondering, like, because I some of my buddies that I've talked to that are black, they've said, like, they're very adamant, like, hell no, I ain't taking that shit. And I'm wondering, like, what could happen or what would need to happen for people that are like, I'm not doing that shit, to change their mind, to be like, okay, you know what, I'll do it. This has been proved. I don't know though,
Well, I mean, I am from the black community, and I just want to say that.
But you said you're down. You say you do it.
I would personally, just because I'm a person who believes in science. I do understand though the fear of you don't want to be anybody's guinea pig, but I do think that unfortunately, I think that if celebrities stepped up and they took it, if there wasn't this is going to sound stupid, but if Obama took it, Michelle Obama, took it, they see that, for instance, maybe even Snoop Dogg, just random,
They actually said Obama,
yeah.
and they said Obama. I think even Bush they said they'll live stream them getting the vaccine.
But here's the thing is with the internet and Facebook, you run the risk of people being like, oh, they're not even taking the shot. They're just getting water in their arm, or they're just, so you're always going to have the saline, in
Sean?
their arm. So
no, nothing. I'm just laughing.
Go for
it. No, yeah, totally. You're right. You know what, dude, I'm wondering, I was listening to something that was interesting when they were talking about the H1N1 flu, and that there was no hesitation by anybody to go get that shot. So what's the difference? Why is this different? And it seems, go ahead. Because I have a question I wanted to ask at the end. And so what's different this time? Is it because it was politicized, and now all of a sudden, if you agree to something, you're actually agreeing to being pro-Trump, or because you can't be anywhere near anything like to the point people don't want to breathe in air because they know that Trump believes in breathing in air to live, But so I'm wondering if, why is that part of it, is because it's too politicized. But my question too, though, is the Tuskegee part. When I hear that, is that, and I'm not saying you represent all black people. I'm not saying that.
I don't.
But so I'm going to actually, Manny, maybe you can answer this after Jay. That when is Tuskegee a thing that actually comes into your head? Or I'm trying to understand that a little better, because I can't honestly believe, I could believe 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds. Right. Fuck yeah. That doesn't sit right with me with the younger folks, and it's got to be something else. Just in trying to seek the answer to this.
Here's the thing. We're like, this, we're not a monolith. So it's like, my opinion isn't going to be the same opinion for
There's by the way, right here, I want to say, go on YouTube, pause this podcast right now, go straight over to YouTube and look up, if you haven't seen this, Key and Peele, Republican black man. And every one of them get up on stage at a convention behind a podium. They're all wearing brown leather coats, khaki pants, wearing glasses with a little bit of an afro, and everyone gets up and they're like, we're not a monolith. We're all independent. You look out in the crowd and everybody's the same.
Yep. And then it's like, one of the wives, they're like, somebody's white wife is here. And then they're all like, oh, they all stand up.
They're like, it's a white woman. And they're like, everybody gets up, and then they're like, and she's driving a Prius, and then like the last people get up and go too.
It's hilarious.
All right. Sorry.
But I think that there is something in the community about, we don't trust the government. They fucked us over. this many times. It's like you've redlined us. You said that we were going to get reparations. We were supposed to get our 40 acres and a mule. You didn't give us that. So there's just this constant in the community of, hey, you said we're going to get this, but we don't. We get screwed over, by the justice system, all this other stuff. So it's just, I think that you learn not to trust anything that the government tells you. And I think that there in turn is fear from certain people. And then you start to, Facebook is probably one of the, social media is one of the worst things to happen to America, because you find these little crazy ideas, in pockets, but then it's so much easier to find each other online through groups and all this other shit. And they're like, oh, they're like, exactly. And it's like, damn, you didn't know that this was happening with this and blah, 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 blah. And that this, that they're trying to put chips in us and all this other shit. And then that goes out to the ethos and people are like, I knew it. I knew there was fucking chips in that shit. I'm not putting it in my kids.
Okay.
And so
So do you think it goes to that length of the chips, or does it even like, look, it's coming from the government, so I'm not even about to even think about those shots you're going to give. I'm not even getting to the place of thinking what it's going to do or not do to me. I'm just telling you, the government's involved. Fuck you. I'm out.
Right.
It's just at that level even.
I think so. But
sense.
And it's not even just black people. I won't say the person's name, but they were so negative. They were so anti-Fauci anything because of what Trump said. They were anti-science. And let's be real, Trump's attacked so much science that there's even people on the far right that are like, dude, fuck scientists. I mean, nurses are getting death threats. Remember when they were heroes? And now all of a sudden they're like, scum of the earth to some people. I'm like, dude, like these people.
Do you guys think I could start like a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe for wanting to get somebody coughing on me or something to get COVID? And I'll live stream the whole thing. I mean, like, watch me get COVID. You could put COVID in me. I'll let everybody watch what happens. See what you go through.
I'm sure there's a guy out there named COVID.
Good, you saved that. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, people.
What if you're one of the people that die from it, Phil?
Well, then I guess you guys can share the money.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
That's not too bad of an idea.
let me ask you this, Phil. Just in your house alone, I mean, is everybody taking the right protocols, or do you feel like some people are just like, whatever?
So I live with 10 other dudes, and one of them had said that they were potentially exposed, and then like 8 of the other people in the house went and got COVID tests within the last week, and everybody's came back negative. I didn't go get tested, but I mean, I'm fine. I'm indestructible.
Phil strikes me as the kind of person who's like, he'll sleep with a girl and she'll, like, her test will come back negative and he's like, nah, baby, I'm clean to the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
Or if her tests come back positive, he'll still be like, nah, I'm clean. Nobody can touch me. I'm good.
Don't worry about that. That bump's been there since I was a teenager.
Oh, God. What'd you say, that bump?
Yeah.
It's not a bump if you pee out of it.
There it is.
So what are you trying to say, Phil? You want to do a GoFundMe for you to get COVID to prove to people that
no, what he's saying, dude, is he's trying to find a scheme that he can get GoFundMe involved with. He's trying to look for some kind
let's
of
make
way
some
to
money.
collect
Let's make some money. I'll fucking get COVID for money. Yeah. We'll get COVID for money.
We should probably, I'm almost saying we should PC Manny this, that COVID's not funny and the people have suffered.
Yeah.
I've had family die from it. I can say that.
You have?
Yeah.
Who?
Really?
My great uncle Leo.
Wasn't that great?
Leo Walter. Yeah.
Wasn't that great?
Man.
PC
God.
Manny.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, that was funny. No, don't PC Manny that. That was good.
Here on the HollingsWorthless podcast, a little disclaimer. We just want to first off thank all the frontline workers out there in the hospitals for doing everything that you do. Anybody watching this, please make sure that you're doing your part in wearing a mask, keeping everybody else safe, but also possibly think about taking the vaccine. Talk to your doctor first. We're not experts, but back to
and
you.
possibly and probably don't start a GoFundMe to get COVID.
Yeah.
And if you got $30, go to GoFundMe.com/Phil gets COVID, and I'll send you a T-shirt that says Phil got COVID.
Coughed on.
I'd rather you just got COVID and left everybody else out of it.
So did you guys see the Zodiac killer's letter was deciphered?
Did you watch a video? Did anybody watch a
Yes.
video of it? Yeah, dude, that was dope.
51 years. That thing
Crazy.
is, and fucking what? Was it 3 people that broke it?
Yeah, using
That's
some
so
software and their own minds. There was just shit that they had to do with like a human had to do that machine learning and software wouldn't be able to handle.
So, question for you. So they never found the Zodiac killer, right? Or
No.
wow.
No.
Nope.
The last was seen in like southern Seattle area.
Shut up.
Around,
where do you live, Phil?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was never caught, and there's different theories, and yeah, that is wild, dude. I wonder. I mean, what I was reading something they were saying if there was a possibility that the guy could possibly still be alive, the guy or girl, but they would be like crazy old, like maybe in the 80s or 90s, maybe.
Yeah, it sucked. There was no name in it. He didn't put his name in it, but there is another string that they haven't. It actually says, "And my name is comma," and then a string of code, and nobody's been able to crack that yet. And it's just one string, so there's no patterns to it.
Oh shit!
And
shit!
They caught him before, that he put something out, and they were able to decipher it. I think it was within 24 or 48 hours. It was like no big deal.
Wow.
So the second go around, he's like, "Okay, fuck you guys," and he just tightened it down. Took 51 years, and now may never know the name.
So the letter did say something along the lines of, it's crazy that you guys haven't caught me yet, or some shit like that, right? Where he was kind of boasting about it.
And he was like, "I'm not that guy
saying,
on TV," because there was a guy that like the week before that letter came was on TV and or no, had called into a TV show and was saying that he was like, "Nah, that's not me."
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy.
And kind of along the I guess what is it? Fucking anyways. I can't think of the word.
So that's a smooth transition.
Yeah. No, I was gonna
Brought to
say
you by the HollingsWorthless podcast.
Paranormal, but it's not really paranormal. But I was gonna say the Israeli scientist claiming that there's an alien federation, an agreement with the US and aliens, that there's an alien federation. Trump knows about it. He almost let it slip.
But he was able to keep that back. Yeah, so he knows something for sure.
Yeah. And that I was reading that they said supposedly there's an agreement with these aliens, and that they're doing testing on humans, and they haven't revealed themselves yet because that we don't have enough understanding of space travel, spaceships yet, and
so we got to just take it slow.
Shit.
Yeah.
But the thing I was reading about the guy, he's like a really respected scientist, and he said 5 years ago, he said, if I said this 5 years ago, I'd be locked up. But he said, I'm at a point now where I've got all the awards, nobody can discredit me. So, and he's like, I got nothing to lose. So that's fucking kind of interesting.
You know what though? Like, you always got something to lose. Like, never forget that. Just like my favorite Kendrick Lamar song is one where he says, "Hey, where your grandma stay, huh, my nigga?" You know what I mean? And it's just like, so they could kidnap your mama. You know what I mean? And so I mean, there's always somebody. But to me, the first red flag is that Trump hasn't let it slip yet. Trump would have been telling everybody that there's fucking aliens. I don't think that he could keep that a secret. But I will say this: I've heard these declassified stories of UFOs where they'll shut down our like technology. They fly outside of our we can't keep up with them. It's like we're Mach whatever, and they're like light speed above that. So
hey, so what if I start a GoFundMe?
Yeah, here it is. What do you got?
Phil, what's your take on it? You think that the Alien Federation exists?
An
Is
alien
that why
probe?
You think that they created Space Force for that reason?
I mean, I'll go lay out in the grass with my butt up in the air for a week, and we'll see. Just say,
Again?
"Come here, come and
Who wants to
to?"
take that? Yeah, jeez, you can't just put those out there.
Are you trying to get them away from Earth?
I'll single-handedly save Earth.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I just, man, the mathematics on it just seems like almost impossible for who knows how far away the galaxy has to be for another life form similar to Earth or more advanced, for them to be able to find us. I mean, I don't know. Just it seems like we already have pretty advanced math. Like, how much more advanced can math
I'm
be for
watching
somebody
Sean as you're fucking
to use
putting
it
this
to
out.
find us? You
Go
know what I'm
ahead.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
go
there's
ahead. Go
math
ahead and respond,
continues
Sean.
to evolve,
You
but
got to understand though, man, we've only had electric cars in this world for what, 30 years, and they were so shitty before that we've only had them in this world for like 5 or whatever now. We just got to a point where we can talk to people wirelessly. Cars have been around, combustion engines have been around since the late 1800s. Like, we are so, what's the opposite of advanced?
archaic.
Yeah. We're
Phil.
so like, what?
We're
What'd he say?
He said we're
Opposite
so
of
My name.
advanced, Phil.
But no, think of that though, man. Like, we're so new
yeah.
that people are even new. Fuck, our country's 200 and whatever the fuck years old. So
I mean,
You know,
that's such a
yeah.
great point, because the universe is 13.8 billion years old. Like, I can't even fathom that. But it's like we've only existed for this small fraction of time as human beings. Neanderthals, even them included, is such a small fraction of that time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if that's the
Well-
case, it's taken us this long to get here from the creation of the universe. So who's to say that whoever else could be out there isn't where we're at currently? I
Well,
mean,
I-
who's to say that they're more advanced than
You know,
us?
Go ahead,
you know,
Jay.
I was going to say, speaking to what Sean said, that actually could be an argument for alien life, because I mean, there's been theories that something happened over the last 100 years where we started getting more technology. Like fiber optics was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And because if you look at all the time up until the last 100 years, like it was kind of like stagnant, a lot of shit. And then the
Mhm.
last 100 years, all this shit has happened.
there's a reason for that though, which is interesting. I was actually going to say that too. It's funny you say that. So if you look at the time between maybe using the sun during the day for heat as a heat source to fire is like, for the sake of the screen, is this long in time.
Okay.
And then to get from fire to say like tools was half this much time.
Right.
And then to get from that to electricity is this much, and this to chips is this much, and this to laptops is this much.
Oh wow.
It half-lives itself. Technology
Yeah, it's
exponentially
it's something
rolls
called
itself.
Moore's law. Moore's law refers to the perception that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles every 2
reading.
years.
Quit
While
reading.
the cost of computers is halved.
Okay. Well,
So that
go
is an
ahead.
actual what he's talking about, which I was just about to get to.
That's
You
how
can
smart I am.
actually,
Sorry, go ahead.
you can actually, we know now, we don't have to guess processor chip speeds. We know that now. We can do the math on it. So we know we can only, and we can, it's a recent thing, maybe in the last, I don't know, 20 years or something, but we know that an Intel chip will only, because of the metal surface and the technology, will only allow for this speed. But we also know that we will be at this 20 years from now, exactly to a T.
Mm.
So yeah, so the bigger point, because I asked somebody about this before and looked into this, because why is it taking so long to figure shit out? Fire isn't that old, man. Electricity is just beginning of 1900s or whatever, whenever. It's because technology, it halves itself so fast that now we're in a point where people say, shit, I wonder what it's going to be like 10 years from now, flying cars. Well, now we're in the place where technology will allow that. We have 5G out now. 5G isn't just good for sending text messages, and fucking videos to people. What that means is the amount of bandwidth in the space now to use for self-driving cars, for drones, all that shit. It's attainable to do these things. The technology is there now. So like, man, it's gonna get crazy.
And we're like, Phil, if you think about it, we're beneath a level 1 like society, right? Or like, think about this for instance, right? We've been alive for whatever that fraction is. 13.8 billion years is a long time for a civilization. If you take it like Sean is, to make those exponential changes, right? So if there's a society that had been around even at, let's say 12 billion or 10 billion years in, they've had that exponential time to grow. They actually think that they may have found a Dyson sphere which is actually a civilization that has learned to harness the power of the sun and just have unlimited, power. So, I mean, at some
Right.
point when we find out
To
how
make
do-
vacuum cleaners?
yeah, it's amazing. Fucking asshole. But, think about this. When
Oh,
we
man.
learn how to, we don't even know how an atom works all the way. This is just where we just know the basic levels of things. We don't know all the math in the world. We don't know all the organic chemistry. I mean, once they find out how to make shit hover, I mean, think about this. We're at the mercy of aliens. It's like, shit, if they could shut down our technology, who are
What
we
do you
to
think
tell
they
them?
look like? Do you think they have, I mean, similar sized brains and 5 fingers?
Brown
I mean,
hair, maybe like a sort of a goatee, black shirt.
I don't
do
know that they would be symmetrical. I don't actually. I've thought about this before, and like we're all about symmetry, but that's because we're not as evolved yet. I
Yeah.
feel like if anything, say, had 10 billion years on us,
Yeah.
that we use for flying, we use lift,
Mhm.
and gravity, and I could imagine that they don't. That's why even those videos, military videos, we see where that thing's going like close to the water and dips down and comes up, and the pilot's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
It's because they understand everything in a much more advanced way. I think that their bodies would have evolved to be very efficient.
Right.
They're probably very tall. I don't know if you need 2 arms and 5, or do you need 3?
Well, think about this.
You
You
know-
probably don't even have to communicate. You're probably using telepathy at some point. And then,
Yeah.
for me, the hardest thing, like when people say that there's no other life out there, they say that there's more grains, or there's more stars than grains of sand on this planet. It's like,
It's arrogance
that's
to
what I'm
think
saying.
that there's
It's
not out
crazy.
there.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that many.
always used to think, that people when they drew the aliens with the big green heads and the big black eyes and everything like that, I used to think, well, I not that I used to, I still kind of do that they're kind of nowadays our prophets, right? Like they're prophesizing what we will actually look like millennia from now, right? As we continue to evolve. Who's to say we don't turn green because of the way the sun hits us and the way our skin tone changes and our heads grow larger because we get bigger brains, and then our eyes start to be able to see all the different spectrums of light. So I don't know, that's just kind of I was like, oh, maybe they just they can see the future. We're all big green-headed people.
I mean,
Eventually.
what's interesting too is like as humans, we all look different, but usually the aliens kind of have the same look, and maybe in an evolved society or evolved species, the physical doesn't matter, so everybody pretty much looks the exact same. I don't.
Well,
fucking
I
know.
mean,
just one master race.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Well,
Which is what we all strive for, bro. Trust me, we all striving for that.
PC Manny.
Yeah, we just want to say that diversity is a beautiful thing here on the HollingsWorthless podcast. That is actually why we have one black person on the show. So you know what? It's interesting, and I wonder this, Sean. The more society, integrates and people breed, I think that theoretically we should all probably be one shade of brown.
Yep.
In like the year, 3000, maybe 4000. So,
And yeah, I mean, and shit, you think about it, like the need for hair colors and the lack of, like, you're right, everybody will be brown and will probably be more, you'll still have like those blue dominant eye features, of course,
right.
in the chromosomes, but like, yeah, everybody I met, and I wonder then what that means, like, because I think we just generally think of that for like Latin folks and whites and black folks, but what about Asians when you start mixing that in, and Indian and all that?
Right.
Does it? I'm wondering if everything just starts to mix worldwide, because it's transportation now is super easy, all that shit.
Yeah.
I just wonder if you do just come out with one thing 3,000 years from now, it's just one human.
Yeah.
You guys, speaking of all the space shit, you guys see SpaceX rocket exploded on
That was
landing?
dope. That was cool.
That was, I mean, okay, let me
Hey,
ask
was
you
there
this.
people in it?
No, nobody
No.
was in it. It
Oh,
was just
okay.
it was a test, but basically what you saw was it goes up, then all of a sudden it comes down to show that it can flip over and land, and it just tilted just, slightly, and it blew up. So let me ask you this.
Wait, just real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So go to GoFundMe, put Phil in SpaceX.com.
After
Oh,
watching,
Phil, stop
Oh,
it.
now he's upset.
Yeah, fucking
Shit.
oh.
That's the best idea for this GoFundMe thing yet.
Okay, so knowing that
I wasn't gonna
exploded-
die in mine.
Oh my god. So knowing
Sorry.
that exploded, even if you saw 100 good landings after that, would you jump on the rocket to Mars and be the first person to land on Mars? Would you take that chance?
Okay, but hold on. Can we come back?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fuck yeah. Because, dude, the
Okay.
part, I think the little nuance to this is that they were prepared and expected for it to blow up, and that they had to get a whole bunch of readings off of it to figure out shit. So
Okay.
now I'm like, okay, that's cool. Of course, they could just be bullshitting too, but
Right.
it feels to me like he's pretty straightforward in how he operates. So
Do we get to do a daily vlog on the spaceship to Mars?
I wish we had a soundboard like with different sound effects on it.
Wah wah.
That, crickets, or just like a mute button. Maybe a mute button.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned, motherfucker.
Oh.
You know what? The only reason is because there's about, I don't know, 900 miles between us.
So everybody would jump on. Everybody would do it. I don't think I would.
I
After
think
the
everybody
first
wants to take that 900-mile drive and kick his ass. Totally. Absolutely.
What?
Oh, sorry, Manny. What were you talking about?
one. So after seeing the explosion, would each of you go to Mars on that rocket?
The very first one.
Very first one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't catch that part. Fuck no.
Yeah, no, I would do the first one.
Hell no.
Phil?
I mean, if you know that it's gonna work and not explode, then yeah,
Well,
of course
that's
I'm
the
going.
whole thing is you don't know, Phil.
You don't. I mean, you could see. Okay, let's say there's 1,000 positive tests, but you already know in the back of your mind that there was that one explosion. Would you still go?
As long as my name ain't Dick Scobie.
I need to Google who Dick Scobie is.
You know Dick Scobie, he was part of the Discovery.
Oh shit. Okay. Here on the HollingsWorthless podcast, we just want to let you know that we definitely don't glorify the deaths of the poor astronauts that were lost in that explosion. But yes, Phil, back to you.
Hey, I gotta say
yeah.
though, not a bad reference, dude, to pull out that
That
fast.
was-
Jesus.
If you were a rapper, that would have been fire. And
Fuck.
oh, maybe that.
Ooh,
wasn't the
it
best
was
word,
fire,
but
though.
Yeah, maybe not the best term to use. So
I thought that was your most recent STD. Dick
Oh
Scobies.
God. Yeah, I mean, being an astronaut would be cool. That's why I think I would want to do it. But
Mom's an astronaut.
I guess if you
Name
if you
that
die,
movie,
I
Phil.
guess I'd be a martyr,
Phil,
huh?
name that movie that Sean just quoted.
That my mom's an astronaut.
Yeah,
Spaceballs. I don't know.
White Man Can't Jump. Great movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best. I'm glad they haven't redone that.
Yeah, seriously.
You know, just leave these classics alone.
You
man.
know, Rosie Perez is in the new show called The Flight Attendant on HBO Max. Really good show. Highly recommend it. It's also got,
HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of HBO Max, two things. One, they have now come on board Chappelle with taking the Chappelle show off beginning January 1st. So what is the Chappelle show left on? What channels?
Fucking Comedy Central,
Comedy
probably.
Central.
That's it. Yeah.
I think that's it. Is it on Hulu? Did he mention that in that?
I think it might be.
I think
I don't know.
in Unfinished, or what was it called? I can't remember what that quick little special he did was, but he mentioned, I think, Hulu maybe.
Yeah.
All the streaming services that he was
Okay,
on.
here we go.
Was
Ways
it
to
CBS?
watch.
Oh.
CBS, Amazon Prime, YouTube.
Wow,
Google.
CBS has it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Comedy Central, iTunes.
I hear that. What is that, Sean?
I don't know. I'm gonna see if that's my car. No,
Oh God, that would suck.
just turned off.
Okay.
And,
I mean, it's unfortunate because, you know, somebody's always going to want to profit off of the work, you know, because they know that there's an audience out there for it. But he's a very, very respected person. And so that's pretty cool that a lot of people are pulling it just, out of respect. So
It's
I didn't hear.
interesting.
Are you talking about Kevin Spacey? Who are you talking? Who are you talking about? I didn't hear. No, hey,
no,
don't try to
what
pull
was it?
my move
Say
on
it,
me.
say it again,
Dick.
Sean. Yeah, that was really funny.
Dick.
What was it?
Yeah, it was
Say
funny
it
because
again.
everybody here was laughing except you, and I saw your little fucking.
Is that true? Is that what happened?
your
So
little fucking.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Jay. What does HBO have to gain from pulling
Dave
Chappelle?
Chappelle, Sean.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe hopes that they can in the future work with Chappelle. Maybe he's going to do something with Netflix that he's going to do a Chappelle show type show coming up, and HBO wants to keep in his good graces, so maybe they can get that down the road. I
Let me
don't
ask you
know.
this: Didn't Netflix pay him like over 30 million or something like that for those 3
I think it was
specials
over
that he
way
did?
over that.
50.
It's like
Yeah.
50 million.
Per-
Yeah.
per
Do
thing,
you
I think,
think Netflix pays you $50 million and they're going to show the series that you created and you're not going to get any money for that, but they paid you $50 million? Do you think you'd be like, I mean, I'm set. You guys can show that. It's fine. I don't get any money
It's not
for
his.
it, but
It's not his though. Do you have to understand? So there's a guy over there named Ted something. I can't remember his last name.
Kaczynski.
And he
What a
runs,
perfect name for that bomb.
Oh fucking!
Jesus. God, you guys are on it tonight, man. I feel like I'm just
Fuck.
yeah.
I
Jesus.
almost want a PC Manny to just do it. Like, let's take a moment of silence for that fucking joke. That was
Yeah,
brilliant.
That was
All right.
yeah.
But there's a guy named Ted, whatever his name is, and he's the head of talent at Netflix. And he creates amazing relationships with people, and he actually gives a shit. And so, dude, here's what I think is both Netflix and Chappelle have the power to do what they want to do. Because obviously Netflix had to deal with Comedy Central or whoever it was that owned the distribution rights to that,
Right.
and said, hey, look, we're taking all your shit, but we're going to take Chappelle off now. And I'm not sure that would make people happy. But then HBO Max, I think because of what he said, and if you remember, he was asking, he's asking people basically to boycott it.
Mm-hmm.
And HBO Max is a failure at this point right now. It's doing terrible numbers. It's failing miserably. And I think the last thing they need is his heat and people actually boycotting. But the other side of it is, why not do something that looks really good? Because I don't think HBO gives a fuck about Dave Chappelle. I think it looks really good and there's good optics there. And so they're going to do it too. But I think Netflix actually did it for really solid reasons because they didn't have to do shit. And that came out of left field.
Right.
And also, when he talked about HBO, he said that he had taken the show to them at first and they were like, why do we need you? And then he's like, so now, why do you need me now?
Oh, and that was the moment, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So good.
But if they are heartful, good on them. But what I do like is this is kind of a redeeming moment for people in entertainment or creators or whoever that like you can live through Chappelle's move right there. They're like, fuck yeah, man. Finally, dude, somebody's doing the right thing. Cool. There's hope.
Yeah,
cool,
absolutely.
Man.
And then speaking of HBO Max, they the movie releases.
That's
you know about that, dude.
So
yeah,
it's kind of, I mean, I see both sides of the coin, because if you're the industry, if you're AMC theaters, you're thinking to yourself, man, how much profit are we going to lose? And our movies going to now die because other big, movies are going to start going to streaming as opposed to theater. I guess it's like, will it survive COVID is the big question. But I mean, I think it's a baller move on HBO to be like, hey, you know what? People are going to watch this. Hopefully they subscribe. The thing I do think, though,
well, I'm sorry. What are you talking about? New releases?
Oh yeah,
that are supposed to go to theaters, or
yeah.
I catch me up.
I apologize. So to the viewers out there who don't know what's going on, HBO Max has said that they are going to take all of their big blockbuster releases, and instead of releasing them in the theater, I think that they're going to still release some in the theater, but they're going to put them all on the streaming service of HBO Max. So we're talking Matrix 4, we're talking Wonder Woman 80 whatever that's
84.
coming out Christmas. '84, yeah, and all of the DC movies that are coming out. So quite a few.
Oh
big,
wow.
Suicide
blockbusters.
Squad's the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Zack Snyder version of the Justice League.
And
So-
some of the people are pissed because like like I forget which movie it is. There's some pretty major movie that
Oh, Dune.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
They found out from the press release basically. They're like, yo, I think they're taking them to court actually too because they're like, yo, we're gonna lose out of all this money in the theater. We didn't fucking agree to this. And I know
Because
that,
it's going to released out on HBO Max at the same time.
yeah, and I know
Wow.
that they paid Gal Gadot, whatever her name is, Wonder Woman.
Godot.
They gave her they just cut her a check for 10 million extra because they're like, we know you're going to lose money for this not being in the theater. And
But see, don't you think? I mean, you just named a lot of big blockbuster hits, and
well, we don't know if
normally,
they're hits yet.
well, okay, fine, but they're targeted towards the big blockbuster type movies where they expect to make over 100 million on opening weekend, and generally speaking, the fans of those types of movies are fans that enjoy watching those movies in the theater. So I think the people that would like to see it but aren't big fans, they're not necessarily going to go to the theater anyway. So are they really losing out on that money? I mean,
Because then are you saying the people that do go to the theater will just watch it anyway at home because that's what they have to do?
no, because depending on what the fuck happens in the future with COVID, the people that love to go to the theater and watch the movie, I think will still go to the theater and watch the movie
Well-
because that's their favorite way of seeing those types of movies.
I do think that you have a point.
Oh boy.
Myself, I don't know if I'll be that adamant to go sit in a theater right away.
I mean, I went and
with,
saw a
with
movie in the
bunch of
theater in
people.
August. It was open for a short period of time, and I thought the social distancing was appropriate for how they did it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you're right. There's some people who will go, but it's like I don't need to see a movie that bad and risk my life.
Yeah, I went and saw Tenet, and that was a Christopher Nolan big blockbuster film. I loved it, and I'm glad that I saw it in the theater. That's the way I want to enjoy a Christopher Nolan film.
I wonder if they're also taking into account where the movie theaters are losing money because I don't think movie theaters necessarily make money off of the tickets per se
Right.
as it is
Not up front.
yeah, the concession shit. I mean, how much fucking popcorn's like a fucking down payment on a house.
Yeah.
And I think they I don't know if they still are doing all the concessions and but before COVID they had like a lot of these movie theaters were doing deals where you pay $20 a month and you can see 3 movies a week or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that was with the hopes that you are going to spend money on food, but then we all sneak it in. Smart.
I wonder if they start doing a transition. They had that law, which it's removed now, but they had the law that studios couldn't own theaters, and that's been removed now, so studios can. So I wonder if that's what we're going to start seeing too, is the Act 3 gets picked up by Warner Brothers, let's say, and these become outlets for these movies. They made it illegal before. Yeah, and they made it illegal before because studios would bogart and they wouldn't allow another studio's theater to play their films and all that.
Right.
But now, I don't think it would work that way. But it seems like that could be the thing. Or theaters. What does it mean? Theaters, honestly, comedy clubs, nightclubs. What does the future look like for that? Do people get out of such a rhythm that they can't get back in the rhythm, or are they clamoring to get back in the rhythm? And they rush all those places.
Well, I was in
I know a lot of
Oklahoma
improv.
City. Huh?
Just say I know a lot of improv has been going online and streaming live. I mean, we have very own improviser on the show.
Motherfuckers, I hate you so much.
Well, I was just in Oklahoma City and they were at half capacity. I was there a month ago and they were at regular full capacity. All the shows are, dude, I did a 4 p.m. show on a Saturday and it was sold out. Which, yeah, people fucking, and maybe that's the people there, different mentality versus, I don't know, some other place that they're like maybe more afraid of that shit. But okay, we got to start wrapping this up. So we'll end on this one. And Manny, this is a little crossover. We're gonna bring this up also in the Love in Black and White.
Yeah.
Thoughts about when an acquaintance or new quote friend changes your relationship by asking for money.
I want to hear some people comment on this too. It'd be cool to see if, you know, if you didn't want to comment, you wanted to send something more anonymously through an email, that'd be dope too.
Yeah, you can
How-
definitely do that. And if
how
you
would you do
do,
that?
please do so by sending us an email to hwppod@gmail.com. That's hwppod@gmail.com.
How's that look? Did we get any, Phil?
This would be a great time for people to email in because this is a good topic for people to talk about.
Now, Sean, did you say this happened to you recently?
Yeah, it just happened. And so there's a couple dudes in my
Dude, I need
neighborhood.
money, man.
No, so you know, there's a couple dudes in the neighborhood and I see them around, you know, and so we'll just like run into each other. And so we'll bullshit and talk. And actually I've been talking to this one dude, and then I was talking to another dude separately, and come to find out they're actually brothers.
Okay.
And so they're like, you know, probably one's 48, one's probably 43 or something, 44. So we just, you know, bullshit about whatever whenever we run into each other. And I usually see him often because they're up at the store. So when I go up to the store, they're usually hanging out up there. So then I was just talking to you, Jay, and we hang up and I see him. He's one of the dudes. He's kind of just like hanging out a little far away from me as we're talking, but it's the brother, not the one dude that I usually talk to. Of the two, I usually talk to one.
Now, this is out in front of your house or at
no,
the
this
store?
is down like by the CVS on the corner.
Okay, got you.
And so, so I see him kind of hanging back as I'm talking to you. So then as he could hear the wind up conversation, you know, all right, man. Yeah. Sounds good. Cool. Blah, blah, blah.
I love you.
Starts coming.
When you say I love you. Before
Yeah.
you
That
hang
kind
up.
of shit. Right.
Yeah.
You know, so he comes
Sweet
over
dreams.
and
Sorry.
dude, and so usually we just all like bullshit about whatever. But again, I don't talk to this guy as much. And so then he's like, hey man, hey, so how's things going? How's the day? And he's kind of like talking weird, man, with a little too much smile. And I'm like, things are cool. And he's like, yeah, man, it's been tough and blah, blah, blah. And I know he works and all that shit. And he's like, yeah, it's been tough. And hey, man, hey, you think maybe you can float me some money, dude, for blah, blah, blah? And I was like,
yeah.
I mean, man.
It changes the dynamic.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. So then he he's standing there and he's not moving now. Right. And his car is way down the parking lot. And so then something ran through my head real quick. And I was like, okay, well, shit, money's gone. The money's going away. Whatever I give him. I know that.
Yeah.
And that's for him to fuck that up and make it awkward for later. So I'll give him that too. This is for him to win also and not fuck that up. And honestly, to be completely honest, if he came back to me and said, bro, hey, here's that $20, to be completely honest, I'd be like, hey, man, you know what? It's the holidays right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I just came into a little bit of money myself. Fuck, I want to spread that around. Not a true story, but that's how I frame it so he didn't feel like it was charity.
Yeah.
And then he goes, cool, so you can give me some more.
Yeah, right? Oh, so how much you get then?
Yeah.
So then... But I was thinking, you know, real quick in my head, I was like, fuck, you know, I've been in that spot, dude. And if somebody would have just given me that 120, that one.
Is that what he was? Is that the amount he was asking for? Was 20?
No,
or did he
no.
not say an amount?
He didn't say anything. But then when I said, dude, I don't have any cash, man, like I got nothing. He's like, there's an ATM in there. And so that's where I thought, yeah, I was like, you know, this is fucked up.
Wow.
So anyways, obviously he hasn't given me the money back. You know, I haven't seen him, which is funny because all of a sudden I don't see him when I see him all the time. And doesn't matter. I already was all set up for that, knew what was happening, and cool with that. Thing is that it brought to my head, though, is fuck, man. I hate when somebody changes that, like in a new friendship, new acquaintance thing where you have no history with anybody. They don't know your point of view or where you're coming from or anything about you. And then they inject that, hey, bro, you got a few bucks maybe? I'm like, nah, man.
Okay. So this you were at by CVS. He tells you there's an ATM over there. So he never, at no point did he give you a dollar amount. He just said, "Can I get a couple?"
Oh
bucks?
no, because we were talking. He was trying to get food for him and his girl, and so then I was like, because it was the ATM, I was like, well, I'll just grab a 20 out of there. with
Right.
it's the idea like 20. It's like me if I said to him, yeah, I'll grab a bill out of the ATM. It's grabbing a 20 because you can't
Yeah.
get a 10 or a 5. So that's where that came from.
So you gave him
I'll be right back.
$20.
I gave him a $20 bill. Yeah.
Okay. Manny has to go pee. With that giant cock. Okay. Jesus Christ. So, and also how we should frame this is he's more of an acquaintance.
He's not a friend of mine. He's
Yeah.
just an acquaintance.
Yeah.
He's a dude, which is fucked up because his in is his brother to me, which I'm not even
Okay.
friends with his brother. I
Yeah.
see him all the time.
So
But
we
still.
should do two scenarios. One, an acquaintance like this, because this is really an acquaintance, and also a friend, like first time I borrowed money from you, Sean. And for the listeners, Sean and Manny both at various times in our friendships or my life or whatever, I've borrowed money from them, big amounts. I mean, there's been small amounts, but there's been big, like, there's been times I think maybe both of you, it's been like $1,000 or whatever,
And nothing's never squared out between any of us.
Right.
Like it's always just like that's just a known.
What
Yeah.
if we were like, you were like, yeah, that's kind of why I brought this up, Jay. So that grand I let you borrow 7 years ago.
Real long road.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you though. It's like if it's any of you guys, I mean, I've known you for years, and it's like
Maybe not Phil.
well, yeah.
Well, I got a good point to this story. So hold on.
But I do feel like if I were to give you guys, I give it with the expectation that it's like, I may or may not get it back. But if I didn't have it, I probably, I would let you know if I couldn't in the moment. But, with Jay, it's like, I remember like, I think you got a laptop back in the day and you're like, yeah, like I'll get you back. And then I got it back like the next day, you know what I mean? So it's always, I know that it's people I can trust, but for instance, Sean, like there were comics that I only knew for like a year who were like, bro, can I get, like, hey, can I borrow like $300? Can I borrow like $700?
There's somebody that I won't say the name, but if you want to tell the story, man, there's somebody that's borrowed that would always talk to you about other comics borrowing money and talk shit, and then they borrowed money. Do you want to tell that story?
Not
or
me.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's not Phil, but
No, we said comics.
So,
Phil, come on.
That's the
You're
one
a great
that cuts right
improver.
in.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, he's not watching this, but at the same, because he'll know who he is. But he talked shit about, like when I would lend, like J money, just to get something because I knew I was getting it right back, right? Because with the parlor, you're waiting on your check and whatever it may be. But he was like, dude, I can't believe you fucking let him borrow money. Like, really, bro? He's coming at you like that. And then, I let somebody else borrow some money, and he's like, dude, I can't believe these people got the audacity to ask you for money. And then literally like the next year, hey man, I'm struggling, bro. Can you like give me like, could I borrow like $500 to like make a car payment? And it's like, I'll get it right back to you. Right. But check this out. Didn't get the money back. And I had to start sweating them. I'm like, yo, man, like you said you were going to get this back to me. And it took over a year.
Is this guy a sandwich?
I'm trying to think.
No.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah, he's probably had a few sandwiches.
Okay, but he's not a
my
sandwich.
God.
So have I. What the fuck?
Yeah,
It's all right.
But bottom line is like, I think that there was that point in my life where I was just too nice, and it's like, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And here's the thing, working in the industry we work in, we work with a lot of people who just don't accept no for an answer, and it's like, I hate to say his name on the podcast, but the manager of where we used to work,
Ruben.
Yep. There you go.
The sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. There you go. Yeah,
no, it was that his story wasn't about that, but
Okay.
this just reminded me of, and I know Phil, you want to jump in because you said you got an example, but this reminded me of back in the day. Well, first of all, like if I do borrow money from a friend, that becomes my number one priority of payback. Like I'll let other shit go. I mean, I hate that I will owe a friend, I'll let I mean, if it's like a corporation, then that shit can wait. But if I'm, borrowing, and usually I try and set the expectation up front. Like if I'm like, hey, Sean, I need to borrow 500. I should be able to get it back to you by Friday at the latest Monday. And then
That's that's the sentence too. It's always that. Yeah.
And hopefully I'm paying you back Thursday, even
Yeah.
before the Friday.
Yeah.
And there's been times, just so everybody knows, that I've let other people borrow money. It's not just, I don't want people to be like, Jesus
Oh, who?
Christ, Jay's
Who are
got
those
some
people?
fucking problems. But there was a guy back in the day, this is probably 15, 20 years ago. Guy asked to borrow money, and we were pretty good friends, and he asked, oh fuck, I just thought of the other one.
That one. Come on, man.
Gomez. I was talking about somebody else.
Shit. Yeah.
Shots fired.
Harold
so
Gomez.
we just say name. Yeah, Harold Gomez.
Harold Gomez.
Yeah, okay.
2
There it
R's
is.
in Harold. I'll tell that story in a sec. This was a different story. But there's a guy, and this wasn't even a big amount. It was like, let's say let's say maybe $100. And he was like, can I borrow $100? And he's like, I promise I'll get it back to you Friday. I get paid Friday. I'll get it back to you Friday, blah, blah, blah. He kept saying, this is the date, Friday, right? Friday comes, doesn't contact me. It doesn't even say, hey, I don't have it yet for whatever reason. I'll get it. Don't hear from him. I let it go a few more days. I think a week's gone by. I haven't heard from him. So finally I call him and I'm like, yo, where's the whatever, where's the $100 or whatever? And it escalated because I told the guy, I go, it's not the dollar amount. It could have been $1. It's the fact that you set expectations and now I'm having to chase you down. Dude, you should be on it to keep me in the loop of what's going on. I shouldn't have to chase you down for money I let you fucking borrow, that you asked to borrow. And then the Harold Gomez story.
People make you the asshole. That's what's fucked up about
exactly.
that. Making you the asshole.
Dude, Harold
Why are
Gomez.
you gonna hound me, bro?
What?
Yeah, he said, why you gotta hound me, bro?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, dude. Harold Gomez was.
I get it back. Go ahead.
Fuck.
Harold Gomez was a comic I lived with. I moved to Seattle, and he was he had won the Seattle International Comedy Competition. And then we became roommates. We were living with a buddy of ours, Jaron, up in North Seattle or Edmonds area, Everett. And I had come into some money, like a nice chunk of change, and he had like almost like a whole presentation. He would have had a PowerPoint if he had the computer at the time, but he was like, so I was wondering if I could maybe, because the Christmas is coming up, I'd like to get some stuff for my girls and blah blah. And I've always been the kind of person where, like, if I got it, we got it, especially like, and he was a close friend. And so I told him, I was like, dude, you don't got to do all this presentation. I'm like, what do you want to borrow, or how much do you want to borrow?
Yeah, I don't even give a shit what it's for. Just what do you need?
Yeah. So he's like, could I borrow like $5,000? I was like, okay, no problem. And he's like, I'll sign this paper. So he signed it. I still have the fucking paper, which I might as well use for fucking toilet paper. But he was like, I'll pay it back at this time, blah, blah, blah. So that was about, I don't know, 10 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago. He paid, like, after about 4 or 5 years, at one point he paid like $1,000 back. And then
But why? Why? Did you have to pull it out of him?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he stopped returning calls and more and more, to where now I don't even think he does comedy anymore. I think he just works on boats doing cooking.
Hey, dude, wait. Or what about you throw out a good chunk of money? Let's call it $1,000, and then they're like, they do pay you back real sporadically and real shitty. So they're like, dude, here's $20 for
a God, that is fucking.
And you're like, yo,
yes.
I gave you $1,000.
Yeah,
that's what I
hate
want
that
back
shit.
now. Yeah, not this fucking. Don't give me $5 for 20 years.
This wasn't a payment plan.
So check it out.
We ran out of time, so let's.
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
I'm on steps 8 and 9 now in my program of recovery, which is the amends process, which I go to people to tell them how I harmed them and try to make it right. Right.
Hold on. So, I don't have any call history from you.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to do it right now. Each of us individually, one-on-one.
Yeah, do it on the podcast.
No, but the thing is, there's quite a few friends that I still owe money to.
As he laughs,
that I haven't made right. But I've definitely used friendships and borrowed money from people and then just left them hanging. And so it's fucked up, but now I have a chance to try to make it right. But
You know,
um,
can I give you a little props, Phil?
yeah,
In your defense, two things. One, and we talked about one before. You've never asked me for money ever,
yeah,
for anything. But I mean, you never asked me for money that you would then go use for drugs. And I don't think he's asked you guys ever for money.
No.
So I want to know, why is that? And two, you also kind of you were honest with us in taking yourself off the podcast. Like I told you, I was like, dude, I can't have you on the podcast if you're doing drugs. You could have fucking said, oh, I'm sober, I'm 2 years sober, and I don't fucking know, I don't know drugs. And so
yeah.
I don't
but
know drugs. You should pull that out as a soundbite.
yeah,
Because
you but I mean, you were in that way you were an honorable person. So I'm wondering, why is that with us?
well, but I mean, I value I do value my friends. There's
Except those other ones. So why us versus the other ones?
because that's the easy answer then is because I've already fucked enough of them up that I don't want to continue fucking up what I have with other people. So and some of those people are even closer to me than per se you guys are. So I know that no, but my point is I know that by fucking them over, they'll still be there,
Yeah.
even though
They're like
I fucked
family.
them
You
over.
can't go
Yeah,
anywhere. You're like,
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like they're some of them are like brothers from another mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I
Yeah.
thought we were
So-
all, but that's cool.
Yeah.
we are.
You know what? I got one
Oh.
last crazy story to tell you about.
Speaking of which, yo, I need $300, guys.
So, I used to be a teller, right? And I used to have clientele come in and, you're friendly with them. I actually had a guy come up to me and he was like, hey there, Martin. I know this is weird, but I need to borrow like $500 from you. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean?
Customer?
Like, a customer came in and asked me when I was standing behind the teller line, hey, can I borrow $500? I just need it through the weekend.
Wow.
And I was like,
Did he pay you back?
I never even, yeah, seriously. Like
Or the bank?
dude, I mean, I felt so bad because he was like, he had the what's the cane things that you have where you're like barely
Walker.
Cerebral palsy?
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what was it? Forrest Gump. He had the like arm things and the leg things.
Oh,
And it was
braces.
just- yeah, the
Oh,
braces.
yeah.
So I was just like,
Jeez.
there was a part of me that was like, damn, this guy really needs it, but also I don't know the ethics rules of like if I give him 500
Oh.
even from my account, is it gonna like
Why the
but
fuck
I
are you even thinking about
That shouldn't
that?
even
I know.
got that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Fuck.
But I mean,
I
th-
hate
there
humans,
are
man.
yeah, there are people who
Assholes.
just I mean, I'm with you. It's like there's people who are just shameless and they could care less.
Yep.
They need to get what they got to get. So
We're,
I used
Phil,
to have
Always
a-
on the come up, man.
I used to have a
It's-
friend that's a comic that you guys probably know, but I've known him since before comedy, and he used to ask me for money, and then but he would do a thing where he'd say like, "Yo, could I borrow like $40, and next week I'll pay you $60 for letting me
Oh,
borrow the
that's
40."
worst.
And then I would, there would definitely be times I'd be like, "Yeah, dude, I get it, no problem. You need gas or whatever. Here's $40." And then next week when I'm supposed to get 60, I would never get anything.
Yeah.
Hey, super quick. I know we're running this out.
You're
But there
good,
was
you're good.
this dude that used to borrow money from me all the time, and it got to the point where, dude, I was on my hustle. So like, when you get money, you get money. When you don't have it, you need to hustle up some more.
Mhm.
Well, he would borrow money from me, and then he'd pay it back like in a $40 thing when I had to like beg him for it. Not really,
Mhm.
but to the point I had to have a conversation with him about it.
yeah.
And then I'd have to go to his place and like make a whole thing out of it when he'd owe me thousands of dollars and he'd give me $40. And when you're not eating and and you're fucking like not in a good place, and this motherfucker is living in a house with a fucking RV and a Dodge truck pulling it around,
Right.
eating just fine with his wife
Mhm.
that works.
Oh,
That guy
is this-
still owes me in the 5 figures.
Is this a fake
Wow.
comic who does other people's stuff in the middle of the country?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Does he even
That
do
guy.
Does he even do stand up anymore?
Did he
I
ever do stand up? I
Oh,
get what you're
true. Good
saying.
point.
Oh
But
wow, I know who you're talking
I
about.
think he's a juggler.
yeah, that's all he
Oh,
ever was.
shit,
And he wasn't
yeah.
even good at that.
Nobody
Yeah,
likes a juggler.
I'm a great juggler.
Oh.
I'm a great juggler.
Yeah.
Phil, by the way, were you done with your story, Phil? About you were talking about earlier about.
Yeah, I just the fact that, it definitely, like I said, I did it with people that I knew would still kind of be there, but it definitely, made things worse and put tension between us. I mean, it's hard to ask people for money knowing that you're probably not going to pay them back.
Is it
being
though?
on that being
Is
on
it?
that end of it, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like being like, yeah, I mean, there was somebody that's a close friend of mine that I borrowed money from that helped me get to LA. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had the money to pay the deposit on the apartment that I got when I moved to LA. So, I mean, he's the one who made that possible, and I still owe him a little bit of money for that I wasn't able to give him all of it back.
So did you, when you borrowed that money, I just wondering, was it in your head, like, was it a jack move? Did you know I'm asking him for this money and I'm not paying him back? Or were you like, nah, dude, I'm hyped up, I'll pay him back, but then you kind of knew you wouldn't? Or what level was it?
I knew I had a good chunk of it to give him back, but I didn't think I'd have all of it. And so I told him I'd write him a promissory note and we could go get it stamped,
Notary.
Notarized.
notarized. But I didn't put a buy date that I'd give him the money back on the promissory note.
Okay.
And he didn't notice that. And so, I was like, oh yeah, here it says I got to pay you back. But in my head, I was like,
sounds like
yeah, in
Harold
my head, I was
Gomez.
like, but it doesn't have a day that I got to pay you back by. So,
See? Man, shady.
All right,
yeah, no.
let's do our let's get our plugs.
I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. That's right.
Hopefully you gave that guy some change. All right, so plugs. We'll start with Philly. Philly, you got any? Or no, we'll end with Philly. Sean, are you anywhere? How was the club you checked out?
It was dope. And speaking of Philly, that's where I'm heading this weekend. I'm checking out a new place out there. As you can tell, I'm scouting out my next tour for 2021, hopefully, maybe 2022. So we went to the Laugh Down Here Comedy Club in Philly. Pretty dope. And so more info coming later.
Okay.
At the Mechanical.
At the Mechanical, yes. Manulus?
Yeah, check me out January 32nd. I'll be at on the interwebs doing more sketch or
do you have another improv show?
Yeah,
I'm probably in January sometime. Like I said, it'll probably be the 32nd of January. But check us out on Love in Black and White, dropping every Tuesday. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff, and also make sure to like and subscribe us on this, man. We really appreciate you. If you've listened all the way through all of our chaos, and just know that you are in store for something special with Phil's debacle that is coming up shortly.
Oh, Jesus. So. Yeah, the fucking end of this. Phil?
I am I'm coming to people's houses to make right what I did wrong. So you might see me knocking on your door.
So many sexually disappointed women.
Follow me at Like the Animal on everything.
Cool.
And I will be at Notoriety this Saturday. And that's it here in Las Vegas. Notoriety Saturday, 9 p.m. And that's all I got for plugs. And if you want to write in, hwppod@gmail.com. That's, go ahead, Phil, say it.
hwppod@gmail.com.
And now, before the rate and review, the beautiful message that Sean and I bring you every week when I was high with Sean, you're gonna see this next 10 minutes. If you're listening to this, you might want to go to YouTube to watch this. This next 10 to 15 minutes or however fucking long it took, this is what we deal with Phil before the podcast every fucking time.
Yuck. Yikes.
Enjoy that, and then enjoy the rate review message. Okay. Bye. What is Phil's screen? Look at it. Oh no! Look at Phil's screen.
Phil looks like he's a webcam girl.
Oh my! Are you doing it on your phone?
Yeah, but for better video quality, but I don't have my fucking.
Oh my God!
I don't know
You're
where the
fucking
fuck
so
my
loud.
phone-
Quiet.
I don't know where my phone is, man.
And feedback.
Yeah.
You look good though.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Do you have your microphone?
Yes.
Oh my,
Sorry, I was trying to get all fancy and shit.
oh my God.
Should I say it on the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sean said even with a 15-minute window. Jesus Christ. I should leave all this in so people that listen to the podcast know what our weekly setup is.
Oh shit.
I wish I had something to fucking hold this thing.
I wish you had a noose to hold your neck.
Cold-blooded.
So mean.
Do you have to do can you use the other camera or no? Oh, is there a camera on the laptop?
Yeah, I wanted to be fancy.
Yeah, just until you get it right. Just do it on the laptop.
I guess I can wait till next fucking week.
Yeah, get a
Did you
clamp.
did you order the cam thing that I sent you? The link to the little camera that I use? Okay.
No.
Shocking.
Hello, Rasa. Oh, there you go.
Oh, that was kind of weird.
Oh,
Jesus.
Mm. All right, that app cost me $8
Are you here talk are you make sure you're going through
to use my I
Make sure
got you. It's my mic.
Okay.
To make sure my to use your phone as a webcam.
Mhm.
It was a cool app, but it cost $8. So I spent the $8 and now I can't use it. Cool.
Adjust your camera right now. It's cutting your head off.
I got you, buddy.
I wish literally.
What was that?
I can't.
I
wait
said no, nothing.
I can't wait till we're on the road again.
Yeah.
Oh, so much fun. Dude,
Phil.
do you have-
Wait.
Yeah.
Phil, when Sean comes back, flip him shit for not being here right now.
Do you have HBO Max, Jay?
I think so.
Dude, Bee Gees documentary, so dope.
Oh fuck! All right, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see that Tom Cruise?
Oh, geez, Sean's finally back. Awesome,
I
dude.
knew you were
Thanks
waiting
for
for that,
joining
you
us.
dummy. We've been in here for hours already.
Hey, Sean. Jay wanted me to flip your shit about your ceiling. Pour much?
No.
He goes, pour much?
It's bad,
I'm
dude.
just playing. What happened
Jesus,
to it?
this guy knew how to frame himself. Jesus Christ.
What?
Hold on. I can't hear anybody right now because I don't have it fucking hooked up right.
If only you knew how to frame yourself.
Shut up.
What are you eating, Phil?
Chicken.
Nice.
Whoa,
I got to
dude.
do something about that.
Jesus Christ, Phil. Come on, man. The
Hey.
brown heart, now chicken.
Don't worry, I'll save you some, Manny.
You have the most uninspired background of any.
Yeah.
It's like you try.
Fuck off.
Hey.
Oh, yes, I love it.
Dude, I honestly think Sean has the best background out of everybody. Those
No, everybody's nice and they all have busy shit going on. It's nice to look at. There you go. Lift it up so it's just your nose.
Kilroy was here.
Welcome back.
Hey, Tom Cruise just pulled a Christian Bale.
What happened?
It's like 2.5 minutes long. There was two dudes that were sitting, or there was two dudes at a monitor that were listening or watching something on a monitor. They were standing close together, and he fucking loses his mind. So somebody captured all the audio.
Wow, that motherfucker is insane.
Yeah, he's like, dude, he loses it.
Oh,
He loses it. We're the gold fucking standard. You motherfuckers are on your ass. You and even you. Just like, and he goes for 2.5 minutes. I haven't heard all of it yet.
You know, it's like I just like, okay, let me ask you this. If you were in the industry, but you didn't give a fuck about your job, would you check that motherfucker?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
Tom Cruise.
That's what I'm
Little
saying.
short
Like,
motherfucker.
even if you knew that you weren't going to get a job in the industry for a while off that, I'd be like, you know what, motherfucker, you ain't talking to me like a child. I'll slap the fuck out of you.
Yeah,
Dude,
and
like
not only
he's-
that, as you do it, you're like, me as Sean McCann, I would not stand for this.
Become
Sean
famous.
McCann will not stand. Just so you get your.
No, dude,
your-
it'd be funny though. He's going
Oh my
off, just
God,
fucking
what the fuck
screaming
is
in
Phil
front of.
doing?
What the fuck is this?
Why does it feel like you have like an alien like dildo
I
that you're
bought
playing with?
this is so I bought this. This actually does hold my phone.
Don't you have to be somewhere by 6:30 or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna hate what.
That's
this
good.
is.
That's good that you're doing it now.
Well, I just stopped by the place to get it.
I think that Sean's thing should be, or you already put it up there, right?
Yeah. Should we? I'm. You know what? I am going to. I'm going to say, hey, this is what we deal with every week with Phil, and then I'm going to have all
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
all that we've been sitting through right now,
Cool.
so people can see. And when
Cool.
people are like, well, what's? How come it's not? Oh, geez.
Oh, that looks good. That looks really good.
Jesus Christ.
Do you have 3 of those?
Oh my god, your lighting's perfect.
What the fuck? Is this
I don't
Nuke's
under-
top 5?
Dude,
You seen a ghost?
you understand the lens goes in the middle of that. It's not on the side of you, bro. That's
Oh
the
my
point of the
God.
ring, is that you put the camera in the middle of it.
Phil, I love you. It just looks perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Cover the thing with the fucking ring. Oh.
Oh my god, it's so perfect. Just that smile.
Oh, God. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
God. Well, this is what we deal with.
Phil.
America.
Yeah. Oh, this will be at the end of it. I'll put this shit at the end. So if somebody
Okay.
wants to watch it, you know. Oh, gross.
All right, scene.
Let me see if I can change the color.
Oh God! You want? Hey, see if you can run to the store real quick and go pick up some more equipment. We'll just sit here and wait.
That color is
Oh
terrible.
my god.
Dude,
Phil,
can you do something about your face?
Oh yeah, you're getting. Put it back on that other one. That
There
one.
you go. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the best bet.
Yeah, and then
You're a
wash
little
your
green.
wash it. Oh Jesus, there's a million things wrong with this lighting.
I can't handle it
Fuck off!
anymore.
It's good for today. I just
Your
I'm
speaker,
trying
your
to
speaker's
improve, you
fucked
guys.
up. Your
I'm trying to
speaker, your
improve.
sound is awful.
Mike,
I'm trying to improve.
Oh my god.
Trying to make a quality podcast here with you guys.
are you though?
Yeah,
You look like a serial killer right now. It's fucking amazing.
Looks more like you're trying to fuck it up.
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh
Should we
yeah. Oops, I forgot one thing.
Seriously. You got to finish your meal. Are you good with that?
Hey Phil, throw the blanket on the ground.
Had smallpox on it.
Blanket.
Jesus Christ. Where's your mic? Let's hear you, Phil.
You're in a bat cave, man.
Hello. How's it going?
Are you going to do that every time you talk into the mic? Lift it up and talk into it? Or
Ugh, so
where's your
good.
mic? Hello?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
No, you're not. This sounds awful.
Are you on a different show right now?
Wait. Can you put hey Phil, can you put books underneath the mic so it's a little closer to you?
PC Manny.
I know.
Yeah.
Or try the blanket. Try the blanket. Oh, there you go.
Can you turn your oven on?
Stick your head in it.
Okay, how's that? Sounds good?
Yep. That's
Yeah,
a lot better.
All right, guys, let's podcast.
All right.
It
a
is going through
verb.
your mic, right?
Yeah, it says it is.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe the light.
Oh,
fucked
I'm
with
the
it.
asshole. Yeah. Fuck.
I don't know. Maybe the light is going through the USB. So I don't know.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't either, Phil, but I'm not there to check it. Jesus Christ.
Hold on. rename.
Let's just do an hour of this.
There you go.
Watch
We
it
already
get
have.
set up. Yeah, no shit.
All right, Jay, Phil, update handles.
Where's mine at? Oh, there it is.
Sean's is good.
What does that go to if you click it? Not anything?
I hit control and then it lets you edit some stuff.
Oh, you can hide self view. I don't have to see myself. That's interesting.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Okay, are you ready, Phil?
How do I bring it back?
Phil, talk.
Oh, God, I know. Same here.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm ready to
Show
go.
self-view.
Ready to podcast.
Your sound sounds weird. It doesn't sound like it's going through the mic.
Jay,
Oh,
I
here's
don't
the
know what
test.
to tell you.
Move away from the mic and see what you sound like.
It says microphone.
Okay.
Blue snowball. The only thing I could think of is
Move away from your mic and talk.
The only thing I could think about
Okay.
is.
All right, you're good, you're good.
What do you,
You're
what do you
good.
think? It doesn't sound as good as normal.
Hey, Sean, how'd you bring yourself back?
Oh, go up to the top where it says view in the top right corner, and it'll have the option under that.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Everybody ready?
Yeah, buddy.
If a person fucking listens to this till the end,
Yeah.
you deserve a prize. Your prize is to go to iTunes and rate or review this podcast. Give it 5 stars, you motherfuckers. Fucking say something nice. Oh, you fucks. I'm dying right now. You motherfuckers. I've been doing this fucking piece of shit for 5 years. I'm averaging about 2 fucking reviews a year. Go fucking write some, you motherfuckers. Oh, fuck.
That is the realest I've ever heard you.
God.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?